not getting a raise, Jeremy.
Okay, here we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this regular call board meeting, March 19th, 2026 at 6 p.m., located in the Estill County Board of Education Boardroom at 253 Main Street in Irving, Kentucky. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Once again, welcome everyone, and we always stand by starting with our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for that. I'd like to remind you that there's a sign-in sheet at the entrance to the boardroom if you would like to sign in. Mr. Brock, do we have any revisions to this agenda?
We do not.
Okay, moving right along. First of all, on our agenda, we have some action items. Action item A is consideration for approval of payment of rooms for middle school and high school FCCLA chapters for the state FCCLA competition, March 24th through the 27th, and it's an overnight trip to Louisville.
So be for paying for the rooms and approving an overnight trip as well. It's something that we do. These will be our winners at the regional level that are going on to compete in the state competition. It's my recommendation we approve.
And historically, we've paid for
All
state trips.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I need a motion for approval of the payment of the rooms for the middle school and high school. Shayla Samples makes a motion, Sharon Whitaker makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
And our FCCLA did excellent at region this year. We got a lot of kids going to state. Very proud of that.
Absolutely. Item B is consideration for approval of the second CATS offer of assistance.
So this is our second offer of assistance for CATS, which helps with our technology department. It is a small drop in the bucket to actually what it takes to run a technology department, but every little bit helps. I didn't get this one, Jeremy. Is it about 20, 30 grand?
It's always about this.
Yeah. So it's my recommendation we approve. It comes from the state.
Okay. So next, I need a motion for approval of the CATS offer of assistance. Tammy Hardy makes a motion, Sheila Samples makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Who wouldn't take money, right?
Yep.
All right. Item C is consideration for approval of updated regular bus stops, which is our policy 06.33, and this is the first reading of that policy.
Yeah, what this does is just clarifies what the expectations is for dropping off and picking up kids, especially our younger children. It's not something that we've not had in practice. It's just a clarification by adding wording to the policy for the ages that can be picked up or that have to be dropped off with a guardian present. It's the same guidance that everybody across the district or across the state uses. KRS just says the board has to set policy. So we're just adding words to clarify what the expectations are. It's my recommendation we approve.
Okay, so I need a motion for approval of the updated bus stop policy. Sheila Samples makes a motion. Sharon Whitaker makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Next, we have item D for consideration of approval of the first reading of the following policy update of 03.225, which is the classified expense reimbursement policy, and also 03.125, which is the certified expense reimbursement policy.
So this is something that I don't know how long it's been before it's been updated. We've operated on the same one since I got here, and it was a little bit antiquated. This just kind of updates it to keep up with kind of state recommendations, but also what the state reimburses for expenses depending upon which city that they're in. It's not a huge adjustment. The next one, which we're going to look to and consider, is for the voucher procedure which goes right along with this, but it just updates this policy, makes it a little bit cleaner. It's my recommendation we approve.
Okay, so I need a motion for approval of the first reading of the policies as discussed. Tammy Hardy makes a motion, Carrie Smallwood makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries. And all of those policies are available to anybody
Yeah,
that wants to read
You
them.
you can go online and just to the policy and procedures on the website, search those numbers, and you can read exactly what they are.
And item E, as Mr. Brock says, goes along with item D. It's approval of the travel expense voucher program.
Yeah, the procedure that we go through, yep.
And so I need a motion to approve the travel expense voucher procedure. Sheila Samples makes a motion. Do I have a second? Tammy Harding makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If none, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Yeah, you can see the form, Mr. Simpson brought it up there. It's just changing and making it a little more user-friendly. And the expenses are exactly what goes along with the state guidelines, depending upon whether you're in Lexington or Louisville. Louisville's obviously a little more expensive, so the reimbursement's just a little bit more.
Item F is consideration for approval of the 26-27 school calendar, which is much anticipated.
Yeah, so we have the, what's been brought to us by the back to us by the calendar committee. You have a copy of it. Mr. Simpson has a copy of it up on the screen there. There would be 172 days, 5 TE days, 4 PD days. And you can go through and look at it there. The start date would be the second week of August, I believe, first day for students, which is the middle of the week, which is the 12th, is it? Yeah. And then we would get out the last week of May. On the last day of school would be the 21st. So it's my recommendation we approve the calendar. There's 187 days total in it, which is what we're required to have.
And we included a spring break in that.
It's one more day than what we're required to have. Yes, there's a spring break and there's
And
also.
what about a fall
There is
break?
a fall break also in it,
Okay.
which, there's,
And then we take 2 weeks at Christmas.
yes, 2 weeks at Christmas. And then I know some people have talked to me about potentially doing away with the fall break. I don't think we need to do that next year. I think if we're going to do that, we need to get our public's opinion, do a survey, kind of like we did with taking away spring break. And if that was going to be on the table, people need about a year's advance notice on that so that they don't have things planned for their families.
Yeah.
And plus, that could just be a Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Sure, it could look different, but yeah,
Right.
absolutely. It's my recommendation we approve the calendar.
Okay, so I need a motion for approval of the calendar. And everyone just realize that this calendar is fluid.
Yes.
I mean, it can change at any given time, just as we're going through this current calendar.
Whatever
Yep.
snow we have, we'll change it.
Yes, so this calendar is fluid, but we have to have something that we can work with, so here we go.
Yep.
So I need a motion for approval, and that is Sheila Samples and Sharon Whitaker makes a second. Do we have any further discussion about the calendar? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
And if there's anybody out there still doing snow dances, please stop.
This brings us down to item G, which is consideration for approval of the following out-of-state trips. One is the 8th grade trip to Kings Island in Mason, Ohio on May 29th. And the second one is the ECHS concert band to perform at Trills and Thrills Music Festival at Kings Island on May 16th, which is in Mason, Ohio.
Yeah, it's my recommendation we approve. Like I said, you read it, one's an 8th grade trip, one's an opportunity for a concert band.
Okay. And our board always has to approve out-of-state travel.
Yes.
So I need a motion for approval. Sheila Samples makes a motion and Carrie Smallwood makes a second. Do we have any questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Next, we have consideration for approval of the following job descriptions. We have the Assistant Finance Director, Custodian, Director of Custodial Services, and a Psychology intern position.
Yeah, I'll go through these, and these are not positions that we're gonna hire into the district. This is just, one of those things where we feel like we do need to do a little bit of cleanup. Some of the responsibilities are split between different people right now, and this just kinda clarifies where they go. The Assistant Finance Director, it will not be a new position that we're creating, it's just a job description for what somebody's responsibilities will be that is already, within the system. The Custodial Director and Custodial Services, that's split right now kind of between Todd and Shane and Phil and principals, and it's kind of all over the place. This would just consolidate those responsibilities to one person to be over the custodial budget, the ordering, the training, when we need training come in to train custodians, how to properly train our new custodians for waxing, stripping floors, that type of thing. And then the other one, the psychology intern, I'm excited about because we have had a psychology position ever since I've been here posted, and we've not been able to find anybody. I know that it was probably a few years before I got here, we still didn't have anybody. We have a potential to hire somebody to come in and intern, and they would work with Miss Kathy Flynn, and that's what this position would be. So this would be a position that we're gonna hire, but it would take the place of the position that we've had posted for so long and have not been able to hire. It's my recommendation we approve.
Okay. I need a motion for approval of the job descriptions that we just discussed. Sharon Whitaker makes a motion, Tammy Hardy makes a second. Do we have any discussions or any questions? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Item I is consideration of the approval of a MOA with Kentucky Career Center of the Bluegrass or the Bluegrass Area Development District, EWS, and Worksite.
So this one is kind of exciting to me, and I hope that they get refunded so that we can do this again next year. It's something that I just found out. A lady reached out to me in email. What this is an agreement with this organization. They will pay our students for us to train and intern them within our school system. So if we have somebody that wants to work with maintenance and it fits within their schedule, they will pay them and pay their workers' comp how many ever hours a day that we can get them to work with maintenance. Or if they want to do internship under a teacher or like a para or custodian, or we can create any position based on what somebody would be interested in, and if it fits within their schedule, and this organization will pay them whatever wage we would pay that position and pay their workers' comp. It's my recommendation we approve. Great opportunity for a lot of our kids.
I need a motion for approval of the MOA with Kentucky Career Center of the Bluegrass, and the rest of that is discussed. Sheila Samples makes a motion. Do I have a second? Carrie Smallwood makes a second. Do we have any discussion, any questions?
Is there an age requirement for that?
Yeah, I think it's juniors and seniors, and it mainly has to fit within their schedule. I don't think they have to be 18, but I will find out.
Yeah, that's what I
But
was
it is a good opportunity, because whatever job description or whatever we have a kid interested in, if we can get them, like we could, even the ATC, we could take the kids in diesel mechanics and put them at the bus garage and pay them to be at the bus garage working with our mechanics. It's open. I asked her, how many positions are we
Yeah, that's
limited
what
to?
I was gonna
And she's
ask.
like, you're not limited. You just, if you all come up with the job description and the need and it fits in the kid's schedule, we'll work with you all. This is only, the bad part is it's only good till June 30th, but they think they're gonna get funded again so that we can have it again next year.
So no limit on the number of participants. Put these kids to work. All right. So I need to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
And if this gets funded again next year and we can do juniors and seniors, it would be a great opportunity to fulfill the 300 work hours for college and
Yeah.
career ready within the state as well,
Yeah.
while training them so that they could get a job after
And
high
make
school.
a little money on
Yeah,
the
and they
side.
make money at the same time.
All right. Item J is consideration for approval of a MOU with Partners of the TRIO Educational Talent Search Project at Eastern Kentucky University.
So this is another one that I actually asked for. We we work with them, and we are part of this grant. Mike Flynn is the one that kind of oversees it. However, we don't, even though it was a 5-year grant and a 5-year partnership, we don't have an updated MOU. So in order to make sure that we continue to get what we need to and that our kids get what they need to, I wanted a new MOU. The original one, like I said, it was up 5 years, but it's one of those things I prefer if we do it every year. So it's my recommendation that we approve, and then if they get refunded, this is another one we'll be looking at in July.
Okay. So I need a motion for approval of the MOU with Partners of the Trio Educational Talent Search Project at EKU.
There's 3 of us wanting to
There's
approve.
3 of us.
Carrie Smallwood makes a motion. Sheila Samples makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote. That brings us down to item K, which is consideration for approval of an invitation to bid for primary depository for the Estill County Board of Education. Mr. Rock, would you like to fill us in on this?
Sure. So this is actually a bid that's going to go out where banks can bring us proposals to be our primary depository and offer our banking services. It's something that we need to do every couple years, and just so that, you know, we stay within our policy and give other people opportunities. So it's completely the board's decision, but we need to go ahead and approve this so that we can put that out. I think, did we put 5 weeks on it, Mr. Yost? So the bids will come to me. There'll be sealed bids. We'll open them and look at them, and then we'll choose. We may even ask the ones that put in bids to come and do a presentation like we did for our RFPs for architecture and for construction management. It's my recommendation we approve.
I need a motion for approval of an invitation to bid for primary depository for the Estill County Board of Education. Sheila Samples makes a motion. Tammy Hardy makes a second. Do we have any questions or any discussion?
How is this information gonna be going out? Like,
Well, it'll be on the website. It'll have to be in the paper next week. I think we publish it in the
okay.
paper, and yeah.
okay,
And the reason this came about is this actually is in our policy
It is.
manual that we do that. But at one point in time here in Estill County, we only had one bank.
Yeah.
And because we only had one bank, we felt we needed to do business local.
Yep.
But now that we have more than one bank that's here, we're following board policy by putting that
Yep.
out for bid again. So that's kind of the history behind some of that.
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. Sharon, did you have
No.
something? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. And that'll be going out this week, Mr. Yost, or next week?
I'll get it to Jeremy on the website tomorrow, and it'll be in the paper next week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. And I think it has to be run for 4 weeks after the paper, so we just set it for 5 so that we're
yeah,
fine with our timelines.
all right. Item L is consideration for approval of salary schedule updates, and I think some of that was
This-
forwarded to the board members.
Yes, and this goes back along with, and it's also should be on there, yeah, it's an attachment on there. This goes back along with some of those job descriptions that we approved. If you're gonna put more responsibility on somebody, I believe that you need to have a stipend or a little bit of something to go along with that. Also believe that it'll help us out because we'll get the potential to hire an intern psychologist, but also we're kind of consolidating responsibilities in one area, and you don't have 3 or 4 people trying to take care of one thing. So it's my recommendation we approve.
Okay, so I need a motion for approval of the salary schedule updates. So
And they'll be highlighted on there when you look at
I
them, I
need a
think.
motion and a second. Sheila Samples makes a motion, Tammy Hardy makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote. And item M is consideration for approval of our student accident insurance renewal policy. It's the same company we've had for a long time, and Mr. Brock just reviewed the policies to
I
make
did.
sure that our coverage was good and that we were,
That we were getting enough bang for our buck. So we have to have student accident insurance on all of our student athletes. We carry it on all students. And so Mr. Yost requested from them, like, what the expenditures have been, what they've paid out on that accident insurance, not just for our student athletes, but also for our regular student population. Both are benefiting from it, so it's my recommendation we approve and we keep that accident insurance policy on all students. The reason I wanted to look at it was, if it was only student athletes and band and different ones like that was benefiting from it, then why would the board pay for it? But historically, other students are benefiting from it as well. The cost is minimal to cover all students versus athletes and those other areas. So I think it's a good thing for our student population. It's my recommendation we approve.
Okay, so I need a motion for approval of student accident insurance renewal policy. Tammy Hardy makes a motion. Carrie Smallwood makes a second. Do we have any discussion? I agree with Mr. Brock. I think it's imperative that we continue to do that. And from my understanding, most other districts do that as well.
They do, yes.
So, I'm
It's
sorry.
about 50-50. Some just carry student athletes, but about half carry all students.
So then you choose which plan? So there's a plan, like,
Well, it's
One and
actually,
two,
so
or-
if a kid gets hurt on campus for whatever reason, on the playground, a kid gets hurt on the playground, or a kid gets hurt in gym, this picks up where their insurance lets off. So then it's kind of like a second or policy, so it'll pick up where their insurance won't pay. And it's a plan to cover all of our students. It's not like picking your own health insurance, it's just a rider to go above what they already have.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, I need to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote. That brings us down to our consent items. Mr. Brock, do you want to discuss any of those?
Yeah, approve the minutes for the regular call meeting, the treasurer's report, and the paying of bills. We did something a little bit different this month. Ms. Isford had asked me about it, and it was funny because I had already asked Mr. Yost before she asked me about it, to provide just a report for the board from month to month to show where we're at versus last year with expenditures, with revenue, and all of that. So if you can look down through that and get the totals there, some of it is because seat base increased this year. Some of it is because property evaluations increased this year. And if your property evaluation goes up, then you pay more taxes. I know mine went up about $1,200 this year, which is fine. I do not mind paying taxes when it goes to support the school system and our local government and people. But you can just kind of look through it there. You've got a fiscal year 25 versus fiscal year 26. And local revenue, about $251,000, a little over that more. SEEK revenue went up by about $361,000. Expenditure reimbursements went up by $38,000. Medicaid reimbursements went up by about $31,000. It still doesn't pay for all the nurses, but it does a big chunk in it. And so that's something that we can continue to increase. And I'll say that Ms. Moreland and Ms. Bryan and some others have done a really good job with that.
Because at one point in time, we were not even billing enough
We were
Medicaid
not, no, I don't.
services.
I
So-
think the first year we billed was my first year here, if I'm not mistaken.
We have been pushing.
And we've got
that
better at it
direction.
every year. We get a little more money every year, so.
Yeah.
And then the fund transfers and indirect cost is just something that we can take from grants and different programs and to help us out and to help our general fund up. That's actually about $96,000 for a total of revenue up $779,000. General fund expenditures to date, from this point last year to this point this year, we are $1.064 million less spent. And that's just people adhering to budgets and us being more conscious and getting frugal and counting every dime and making sure that we're not being wasteful, that we're being good stewards. Encumbrances from last year at this time versus this year at this time, we're down about 23,000 for a total of about $1.08 million savings from the previous year. And I know that sounds like a lot and all that going up. However, every year, when you count for inflation and just our step raises, even if we don't give an across-the-board raise, there's step raises built in at every position. It's what, about $330,000 this year, Mr. Yost, from this year to next year, and everything goes up. So this is even more important that we be good stewards and save money. So this is a little, just a quick shot so that you all get those munis reports, but sometimes it's hard to look through those. And if there's anything else that you all wanted added to this, we'll be more than happy to add it. And if you have any more in-depth questions, me or Mr. Yost can answer those.
I appreciate you doing that, Mr. Yost. Mr. Brock and I talked about that after our conference, and I
Yeah.
told him that it would be nice to have a snapshot, so
Oh, well,
thank
I
you very
I
much.
think I told him at the beginning of the year, after December, when you get your feet
Yeah.
under you, I want you to create a report for the board, so.
Thank you for doing that.
So it's my recommendation we approve all of those.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the consent items as discussed. Tammy Hardy makes a motion, Sharon Whitaker makes a second. Do we have any questions or any further discussion?
I'd just like to make a comment. I think with the lower expenditures, I think kudos to all the staff.
They've done an
Because it's
excellent
just
job.
not one person, watching the budget. I think as a whole.
And I say
And I
that,
think
like,
that's awesome.
Mr. Yost and Buffy and Amber and Sandra, they're a good team. But also, just like you say, our directors, our teachers, our principals, everybody
Takes everybody, yeah.
has focused on it, and you're exactly right. Kudos to
Yeah.
them, because
Yeah.
it is for a district our size, that's huge.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Next, we have our superintendent's report. Mr. Brock, give us an update.
I'll start with attendance. We've been down for a couple of weeks. We've been battling sickness, but I don't think we want to call off for sickness unless it gets really, really bad, because we need to get out of school sometime soon. But overall, we're still at 92.35% for the year. That does not account our performance-based, and then there's no days dropped yet, because we get to drop some low days, and then we don't have any weather days or anything calculated into that either. So that'll come up a little bit. And then our enrollments at South Irvin, we have 111, West is 447, Estill Springs is 473, the middle school is 453, the high school is 556, and our virtual and Success Academies is 96. Just an update on the middle school, we're continuing to fight to try to get money. We was not a line item in House Bill 500 coming out of the House, and then the Senate passed it today. We were not a line item there either. I didn't really expect for it to come in there. I expect to come in at some kind of a special offer or something like that, like the original money that we got. So we're still not out of it. We're still hopeful, and we're still fighting. I was on the phone yesterday, speaking with people. I'll be on the phone tomorrow, and I'm back in Frankfurt again next week. So like I said, I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic. I definitely think that something's going to come through so that we can continue on, because everybody knows we need it. And I will say that Mr. Reese and Mr. Simpson had worked with DECO. There's a list in Kentucky that's called the K-Fix list, and basically it's just ranking of the needs of the facilities within the state. 2 years ago, we had climbed way up that list, and then this year we had dropped way down that list because people update all the time. So they worked hard with DECO, got the reports put in, and we jumped 111 spots, and so we're now 11th on that list again, which is the highest we've been on that list for a long time. The only reason that I know that we're not in the number one spot is age of the building. Is that how you understand it, Mr. Reese? Because the age of the building is worth so much, and it knocks us down. But we was glad that DECO and that they done that. So.
And Mr. Yost, can you just reassure everyone that we have plans and that we are monitoring the situation all the time? I get questions about this every single week, so.
Yeah, we do, and we had structural engineers in here again just a little bit ago. We monitor those sensors all the time. The building inspector looked at it and he said what everybody said. The outside don't match the inside, and he wanted to know why that was. But, yeah, I mean, we keep that monitored. I have talked to Mr. Reese. We may do some concrete work in there this summer just to try to smooth some things out and like that. But yes, the building's footings are still not moving, and they're still safe. There's no danger of it collapsing. It's just ugly, and there's a lot of cracks and stuff going on inside. That's why, again, some of those walls and stuff the rooms and stuff are closed. But yes, I'm in there all the time. The teachers are in there. I would not put kids, and you all would not put kids in that building. And the minute it comes back that the footings have shifted or whatever, we will close it down, and we will have to come up with a plan. And we've talked about several things, but there is no real good backup plan. That's why we need the money to build a new building before that day comes, because that day is coming. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So,
All right.
and I think,
And that brings us down to any notification of personnel or anything else?
no, I think that's all.
All right.
The personnel, you all have that on the,
One thing needs to be changed on that.
Yes, there's a couple of things.
And the principal for the high school still has Mr. Rogers on it.
okay, on the website?
Yes,
Okay.
or
We'll
at
get it.
least on this it
And
does.
then that brings us down to our principal's report. So are you all ready to fill us in? Would you like to go first, Ms. Hall? Ms. Hall from South Urban.
So we teach in units at preschool, and we just finished our exercise unit. We did have some guests. The high school let us borrow some of their football team members, so they came and helped our kids with some exercise. We also had a local guest. He goes by the name Ace Carmichael, so he came and visited. The kids loved that. Our focus of preschool, and it's a requirement of preschool, it's actually how we get our STARS rating, is that we teach social emotional, and we do that through something called the pyramid model. And if you've heard of PBIS, Positive Behavior Intervention System, that is pyramid model for preschool. So there are a couple pictures of kids practicing or a lesson being taught with social emotional, and if you could see that small picture on the second one over, that tells the story of preschool as 2s and 3s. So look at the, okay, yeah, she's created that face, and she's modeling that face of her Play-Doh and
Yep.
herself. And then look at the one right under that, Jeremy, under, yeah. So look at the emotion of the kids behind the two kids. I mean, that tells a story without any words. So those are a couple social emotional things that we're focusing on. Then you can go up to the top, you can see a picture of our 100th day. We had some kids dress up for that or wear 100th day shirts. The kids in that picture are 4s or just turned 5. Okay, go down, Jeremy. We practice writing our name. We do have some rules in preschool that they cannot use what's called dittos or worksheets, so the teachers have to be creative in that. I can't tell in that picture, sometimes they use stamps, sometimes they use magnetic letters, sometimes the teacher can do their name in a highlighter and the kids can write over that highlighter. I can't tell in that picture which one he's doing, but he's learning to write his name.
I'm glad he did that.
I'll try harder.
Keep going, sorry.
Okay, I gotta see it though. I know the next one over, we do teach, we have standards and learning targets just as the other schools do. So we're working on position words right now, and again with that, we cannot use any worksheets or workbooks. So that is a teacher-created lesson at the bottom, but we'll do that top one. We're in the wheels unit now. Today we had a small touch-a-truck for wheels, and we did cone of ice for the kids. And then that is a parent educator at South Urban. We teach in groups, and that is, I can use position words. So they're taking their vehicles that have wheels, because we're required to teach in wheels, and they put their little vehicle wherever she says, and I can't see what her position word is, but it's probably like beside the tree or in the sandbox or under the slide. So that's some of the learning that's going on. If you look at the bottom left, there is some data there about letters, numbers, colors, and shapes. That's where we're at right now. Upcoming events, we have Family Day. We're required on Fridays to invite families in. We serve our families on Friday, either in the home or at the school. So we have a Family Day on the 27th. Right now, we're in the middle of Teapot Observations, which is the observations that goes with our social emotional teaching of the pyramid model, and those are full-day observations. So that's what we're in now. In a couple of weeks, we'll have something called class observations, and those are full-day observations in the classrooms as well. So the teachers get a lot of feedback in preschool. And I didn't put our enrollment over there. We're scheduling screenings right now for the following school year. We screen kids every Friday. We recruit all year long because our role is to catch kids that may have delays or that are at risk of failure later. So we're scheduling our screenings right now. Those will take place on the Fridays in May for the following year. So spread the word.
Next, we have Miss Brooke Mays from Estill Springs Elementary. Uh-oh.
Sorry, guys, I'm still trying to figure out why this audio isn't working.
We can go with Miss Halcom.
We got it.
Okay, we have had an exciting March so far at Estill Springs. We are so thankful for some more consistent days in the building and consistent instruction, and big things are happening. That top left picture there is Miss Lila Williams, and the caption under her picture is Crushing Goals. She was able to master all of her multiplication facts to 12. So she had a huge celebration, had lunch with a friend. In the middle there is Miss Shay, and she is doing bouncy social and emotional lessons with our kindergartners. Bouncy is a program that Miss Shay and Miss Nolan, they went to this summer and learned a lot about. Bouncy's a service dog, so the lessons center around teaching them how to be a good friend, how to appreciate differences, and our kindergartners are absolutely loving it. We celebrated the 100th day. Those girls look like they've had a lot of learning in 100 days. They've aged a bit, but thankfully they came back on March 10th without their granny wigs, and they are ready to go. Looking down at the middle to the left, that's our family learning night. Read Across America Week is a big week in elementary schools. That's a magician that comes usually the first week of March. Our students absolutely love him, and we always have a big turnout for families. We even had our book fair open that evening, and our family resource sponsored vouchers, so everybody that came that night they were able to take home some books to add to their home library. Looking over in the middle there to the right, that was kindergarten lunch with loved ones, and that rounds out 6 family meals that we have completed this year. So shout out to our cafeteria staff. A lot of planning goes into those family meals, but our students absolutely love having their loved ones come and enjoy lunch with them. Bottom left there is still another celebration from Read Across America Week. We had more than 20 guest readers from the community and surrounding areas come in and share with our students. That's Miss Emily Johnson, and she teaches our visually impaired students, and she brought in some Braille books and some really neat things to show our kids some different ways that people read, so they really enjoyed that. In the middle there is a 5th grade student. His caption is Students Leading and Learning, and I think if you would have asked his teacher, who's sitting next to me, if that student would have been able to get up and teach the class in the fall semester, the answer would have been no. But he absolutely took charge when I was in there last week and was able to lead his math journal talk with his class, and they're doing great things. We're excited for all of the growth that's taking place this spring. And the last one there is another growth celebration. Those 1st grade reading mastery students are moving into the second grade reading book. So when you have a 8:30 reading mastery group, Miss Mays brings donuts and juice. So we celebrated big for them, and they are excited. They said there's lots of science in their new books, and they're excited about that. The back is a big list of upcoming events. The spring is very exciting. I hope that you all will come out one day and join us. Come for a regular day in the classroom. Come for any of our events that are coming up in the spring. We would love to have you.
That picture of the student leading and teaching his class is what the state would now dub vibrant learning experiences. I just call it good teaching. So we've got a lot of that going on.
Thank you, Ms. Mays. So next we have Mr. Singleton from the Estill County High School.
So, thank you all for letting us come here and share a little bit about our schools. We at ECHS have been, I've said over the past couple of weeks, we've been grinding it out. Teachers have been getting in the classroom, they've been working, kids have been working their tails off. We've had EOPs, we've had the SAT, we've done a lot of assessments, a lot of academics that are just really, really, really good. And I've been in those classrooms, and I'm proud of the work that not only our teachers are doing, but our students are doing. But I was in a classroom the other day and saw this project, and I was like, I have to show this at the board meeting because it's so cool. So the word is kintsugi, and it is a Japanese word. It's a repair technique. So when they break a bowl in old Japanese tradition, they would use a gold-type substance to put it back together, and they would reuse it. Our teacher showed, Miss Ellis showed, it was a metaphor for life. Like, we all have our scars and we all have our cracks. And instead of putting ourselves down for those scars and our cracks, we can make them something beautiful. And our kids have resonated so much with that because, you know, everybody has trauma. Everybody's got past, but we can make something beautiful out of it. And Miss Ellis told me today that this is the one project she's done in her class, in all of her classes, that she has had 100% engagement in. Every kid, no matter if they're a kid who's always highly engaged in art or the ones that just are in there because they have to be and they don't really like art, 100% engagement in this. So I told Miss Ellis, I said, I really want to present this at the board meeting. Can you send me some pictures? So she sent me some pictures, and I put them up there. And then she came back to me and said, I told the kids that you were going to present this at the board meeting, and they asked if they could make the board some bowls. So that, it's not an animal in my box. They have made you all your own bowls. They are not, you cannot eat out of them, but you will see.
You're gonna make me cry, Mr. Singleton. That's so
They're awesome.
sweet.
So I'm going to lay this down because I'm going to pass these out. But I know Jeremy
That
did
is
this
so
help you
cool.
out
I
very much,
know.
but-
Oh,
So they painted them with like
Those are beautiful.
an alcohol-based paint, and then they took plastic wrap and kind of rubbed them in, so that's where they get the stained type look. And then they let them dry.
That's awesome.
And Alexander, you got to take art to get one.
That's
I'm sorry.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
But
You can have
so they took,
That's
they
beautiful.
painted them, they wrapped them in plastic, let them dry, and then they broke them. And then after they broke them, they took a mix of Elmer's glue and like some gold filament and hand glued them back together. So each of those was handmade by a student at the high school. They, I don't know if you've ever worked with Elmer's glue before, but it doesn't dry very quickly. So kids had to hold on to those for a long time. So there's a lot of work that went into those. So put on your desk, put some candy or change or something in them, and the kids would just love for you to have them. So
be sure that you tell them how much we appreciate it.
Those
and
are
how much-
beautiful.
Absolutely.
Very good. That's so neat.
So, are you finished? Okay, thank you so much. Next we have Miss Halcomb from the middle school.
We've been doing a lot of great things at the middle school. The one thing I want to highlight is our Blue Carpet Awards. We had that event this past week. It was great. We got to have over 100 students present. We had several out with the flu, but we still got to recognize 100 of our students who were our high achievers on our KSA testing. So we gave away proficiency medals, distinguished medals, trophies, plaques to all of our students. It was a really great night. We had Mr. David Young, the CEO of CKEC, come be our guest speaker. He did a fantastic job talking about what it means to be a high achiever and what he looks for when he's hiring employees, and how our students at Estill County Middle School can represent that. I added some pictures here. This was the first time, I think, Ms. Barnett, you can speak to this too. Our parents got really involved in the ceremony. They were screaming and jumping and just showed so much excitement for their students that it was a true joy to watch and see. So I wanted to add some pictures there. They were very, very proud of their students, and they should be.
They should be, yeah.
We had 2 students get promoted this past week at JROTC. We're very proud of those 2 8th graders. They are looking for community service activities to do, so we're meeting with them next week to get them started on what they can do around the middle school and around our campus to get those community service hours in to get another promotion. DECO, they presented with our 6th grade science class. They talked about earthquakes and the damages that it does to buildings. And it was great to hear the questions that our students had. They had lots of knowledge, because we talk about our building quite often with our students. And they had lots of great questions that DECO was able to answer, and it made it relate to them. So that was one of our favorite projects that we've done so far. Our student council attended the LEAD conference in Washington, D.C. They've came back with lots of great ideas, especially on communicating with students and families and how we can do a better job at that at the middle school. So we've sat down with Mr. Flynn and are having our meeting with them to discuss ways and things that we could implement next year to do a better job at that. And then shout out to our student athletes. They are on a roll right now. Our softball team's undefeated. Our baseball team and JV's undefeated. So just if you see those student athletes, tell them how proud you are of them. They're doing an awesome job.
Thank you, Ms. Halcom.
Miss Miller has been a little bit under the weather, and her kids are sick tonight, so she couldn't be with us. So, and I want everybody to know why she wasn't here. So. But we can see her flyer there. They've got a lot of great things going on there as well. They've had the same type of activities. A lot that Estill Springs has had. You can see the 100th day of school and just a lot of great things. Looks like their emergency preparedness drill. That's probably the same day that we had the statewide drill that they forgot to tell people that it was a statewide drill. We did tell principals it was a drill. I want everybody to know that. So, but they have a lot of great things going on there as well, and we wish her and her kids both a speedy recovery.
Absolutely. We miss you, Ms. Miller. So, does anybody else have anything to share? Mr. Yost, Mr. Norton, Mr. Reese, anybody?
I'm just glad we don't see snow and ice everywhere.
Yeah.
I will say that, our juniors at the high school took the SAT.
You wanna get the microphone? Yeah.
I know that I'm gonna. The juniors at our high school took the SAT for the first time this year, and it went really well, really smooth, and our kids tried really hard on it. We're getting our Success Academy next week to take it, so I'm kind of excited that went off without a hitch and how well it all went. So, because we were kind of nervous about that across the board because it was the first year for that.
Yep.
So that's all I want to say.
Mr. Rock, do you have any news for us about things going on at the ATC?
They had their competition. They left, I think, went to their competition last week. I've not heard any results from that. And HOSA went today. I know that they've had some success in their new robot program. I was up there the other day with the diesel and the welding. A lot of good opportunities going on there. Rumpke, I think, is going to partner with us there as well, Jeremy. Is that correct? Because Waste Management was going to partner with us, and we never could get that lined out. Rumpke's now bought the dump, and me and Mr. Singleton have an ongoing joke that since they put the Rumpke sign up, there must be a filter in it, because it's not been any smell whatsoever since. So,
I will say a few things about that.
yeah,
Sorry, the Rumpke, has come onto the school district, per the meetings that Todd and I have had with them. They do want to be better stewards in our county. They have provided two $2,500, scholarships for our, seniors. They also are willing to partner with Teams Way if they can with the district for anybody that needs money. As a matter of fact, they've already awarded, one, I think it was $200 to, one of the high school teachers for a program that they're doing.
yep,
And they are partnering with the Touch a Truck, event that they have at one of the elementary schools. And, they told us per the meeting that they are putting in, they're gonna fix the actual, wheel cleaner, that the.
The wheel
tow truck
wash,
used,
yeah.
that is, the previous company, would not fix. They're fixing that. They're also going to work on the smell. There are apparently things they can install to help actually remove the smell from the landfill. So, I can say positively, or at least I almost speak for Todd, they did show a lot of earnestness to make a better representation within the county, and to work with the school district in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
yeah, and they talked about potentially working with our New Weldon program with those.
Yes,
Can
I don't know where
bottles.
that's at right now.
Yep.
But we have connected, Principal Tammy Combs with Rumpke to see what kind of relationship that could be in terms of the welding program. I have not been updated on that, but we have made that connection.
Yeah, and I know Senator Smith was there the other day and walked through, and I got him in the middle school while he was here, so we've had several go through. Obviously, Mr. Wesley's been through it with me. Representative Meade has been through it. I'm trying to remember, maybe there's one or two more that's been in it, but that helps us hopefully get funded for a new middle school as well.
Okay, so thank you all for those updates. There's lots of exciting things going on, and like always, it's a great time to be an engineer.
Absolutely.
Next on our agenda is the board member forum. Do we have anything to share with everyone? Anything going on? Anything?
I'll brag on our student representative a little bit. And he doesn't know this, but somebody came to me the other day, and I don't even think that they knew he was our board rep, and they was talking about him, and they was like, he's just such a leader within the school and a fine young man, and so I want to give him a shout out for that. And I was like, yeah, he's also our board student rep, and he's actually active and will talk to us and give his opinion on things sometimes.
So I usually always give you an opportunity to share. Do you have anything today for us?
I know that the clubs are really amping up down at the high school, especially FBLA. We got a lot of competitions. I know FCCLA is fixing to go to state, so busy, but it's going good.
Good. We're
Thank you.
glad to hear that.
I want to say congratulations to the girls' basketball team.
Yes.
They did an excellent job.
Another district title.
Absolutely.
Yep, 2 in a row.
Anything further? Mr. Simpson, do we have any public comments? Okay, so that brings us to the end of our meeting. I need a motion to adjourn. Sheila Samples makes a motion. Do I have a second? Tammy Hardy makes a second. All in favor? Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it.